22. Life, Love, and Loss by Nathan Hine. Chapter 1. A 1970s blue AMC Hornet automobile, which is more than a decade old now, is speeding down the blacktop as it races through the summer night, which is as dark as the road it's on, in Evanstown, Pennsylvania. The man behind the wheel, Ray Noble, a tall, burly man with piercing rage-filled eyes with a kind falseness of blue in the center and black hair slicked back like a greaser and sideburns that have hints of red in them, is ignoring all the laws of the road as he recklessly advances to his destination. He is driving through stop signs and going faster than the speed limits. He really shouldn't be driving at all, though. He had been drinking, getting a pretty good buzz going, when his wife, Doris, interrupted him. Doris is a woman of medium height with a few extra pounds that give her a rounder figure, thick long red hair, brown eyes that were enhanced from the large glasses that she adjusts frequently due to her bad vision, and a mouth that could have a motor attached as it always seems to be running about something, especially any gossip she hears and has the need to put her 2 cents into it. She had informed him that her water had broken and she was going into labor. This was the start of the argument they are having now. The tension between them is thick with resentment due to the lost dreams and freedoms that were the consequence of the choice these two irresponsible people made. They had gotten together 8 years ago in an impaired state, which resulted in her getting pregnant for the first time. The pregnancy led to them getting married, which they thought was the right thing to do. That is when the fighting started and didn't seem to end all the way up to this point. "You're going too fast. Slow down," she yells between labor breaths, gripping onto whatever she can to stabilize herself in the passenger seat. "I'm not going too fast. I'm going at the right speed for the situation," he retorts, while squeezing the steering wheel tighter. "The situation. If you were good at reading situations, we wouldn't be doing this again. How are we going to be able to afford another child? We can barely afford the one we do have. I know that, but it's not like I meant for this to happen again. The last thing I want is another child." "Well, you should have thought about that before now. Don't you think? Don't you put this all on me like it's all my fault. You're just as responsible for this as I am. Well, if you weren't always drinking, maybe you could think enough to use a condom or pull the fuck out. I have to drink to block out your constant nag. Nag. Oh, I nag you. Well, if you would do what needs to be done, I wouldn't have to nag you. Look who is talking about what needs to be done. What is that supposed to mean? If you would do other things, you wouldn't be pregnant now. If you would learn to do a blowjob or try anal, this wouldn't have happened." Typical male answer. Always trying to stick it down someone's throat or up their ass. "See if I let you touch me again. I wouldn't touch you again if you paid me. Like you're good enough to be paid. At least I know how to move around. I'm not a dead fish like you. I would love to move if you gave me a reason to." They keep taking verbal jabs and hooks at one another, like an oral boxing match, as their firstborn, Ray Jr., is watching from the back seat. Ray Jr., or just Jr., is a 7-year-old boy who is tall with black hair, like his father, and has brown eyes and glasses with a few extra pounds, like his mother. He takes in the event occurring in front of him, which has become as normal to him as the day ending in Y, and he has to wonder about this supposed loving couple. Why did these two even get together? All they ever do is argue. Why would anyone want this for their life? I'm only 7, and even I can see these two don't belong together. They blame me for them being in their situation, but I didn't make them do anything. I wasn't even around. These two people made a choice and brought another person into their chaos, and now they are going to do it again. Why? Because they don't learn. They just keep doing the same things over and over. Just like a bunch of irresponsible, selfish narcissists do. They don't care about anyone but themselves. How I made it thus far is amazing, but how are we going to be able to deal with another child? His thought is interrupted when his mother screams in pain from a contraction that hit her. The man smiles when he sees the sign for the hospital. He will finally be able to get out of the car and get away from this nagging dead fish for a fuck of a woman. The car screeches to a stop outside the emergency room of the hospital. The husband runs in and comes back out with a wheelchair and an orderly. She gets out of the car, grunting, and sits on the chair. The orderly pushes the woman into the hospital as the man drives the car to the parking lot. He mutters under his breath to himself as he parks the car in a space. "You could just leave. Come on, just put the car in drive and leave. Why are you still sitting here? Get this car moving now. The open road calls you." He looks over at the road and then back at the hospital. He sits in the car for a minute, then gets out and heads toward the hospital, leaving the boy in the car. They had completely forgotten him. God damn it, Ray says depressingly as he walks through the entrance door. Chapter 2. Bright lights are shining down on a delivery room that is bustling with activity as Doris is wheeled in. Her face is contorted from pain, and beads of sweat are coming out of her forehead. The doctor and nurses are preparing themselves and the room as fast as they possibly can to deliver the baby. They prep Doris in a speedy manner, despite her being uncooperative. They fight to get her undressed and get a gown on her. The staff get her on the sterilized delivery table. They hover around her with a mixture of concern and exasperation on their masked faces. Push, Mrs. Noble, push. The obstetrician, the pregnancy doctor, urges her. No. She half hisses and cries back at him through gritted teeth as she tightens her grip on the bed rail. I can't have another one. You have to cooperate with us, Mrs. Noble. This baby is coming, whether you want it to or not. I plan on delivering it safely. So just cooperate. I don't care. I don't want another one. It's too late for that, Mrs. Noble. This baby is coming, the doctor states again. The nurses look at each other with worried glances at this woman's erratic behavior of anger and defiance since her arrival. They try to reason with her, but she refuses to listen. She is screaming insults and cursing the staff. The nurses were trying their best to keep her calm, but the abuse kept coming. She is given an epidural to help ease her pain and hopefully give her a chill pill, as the saying goes. It relaxes her, and her aggression is diminished, but she is still rude toward the staff. Eventually, the baby boy is delivered with much unneeded difficulty due to this hectic woman. At first, the doctor thought there was something wrong with the newborn because he didn't cry or make any noise. He looks at the baby with sadness, believing it to be stillborn. The baby is eerily quiet, but then he takes a deep breath and opens his eyes wide. His eyes start to wander around, seeming to calculate his surroundings. He is observing everything with a sense of curiosity and caution. The doctor and nurses were taken aback by this unusual behavior. They had never seen a newborn so silent and aware before. A nurse takes him over to a table and cleans him up. She checks him over, with other staff moving in and out and taking a quick look, and finds no issues with him. He is perfectly healthy and okay, but his silence is a wonder to them. The nurse swaddles him with a blue blanket and takes him to present him to his mother, but before she can, Ray finally arrives to the room dressed in scrubs with a mask. Doris sees him, and frustration spreads across her face again. A silent, invisible bell goes off, signaling that the next round will commence as they go after one another with verbal assaults. They are so focused on one another that they are oblivious to the rest of the room. Neither seem to acknowledge or care about the other people in the room or their son, who was just born a few minutes before, for that matter. And where the hell have you been? Doris grunts. I had to park the car. I couldn't just leave it sitting out front of the hospital. It would get towed, Ray angrily says back. That figures. There's always an excuse with you. You can't ever be where you're supposed to be. Anytime I need you, you're nowhere to be seen. I'm in here going through all of this, and there's no Ray anywhere. I got up here as fast as I could. I had to park the car. Then I came inside. I asked how to find the maternity ward, made my way here, got dressed in this, and came right here. It's not like I just left you. You certainly would like to, wouldn't you? Why don't you just do it then? Why don't you just leave? Sometimes I really wonder why I don't. I can't ever do anything right for you, ever. But you do everything just right. You're so perfect. The queen of perfection. It's Queen Perfect, everyone. Bow to Her Majesty. They continue with their fight, and the staff, having had enough of these two difficult and infuriating people, finally calls for security. Two men with security on the back of their coats made their presence known shortly after. They go in to deal with the couple of annoying nuisances. As this scene of craziness is happening, the nurse who has the baby leaves the delivery room to get him away from the absurd and dangerous environment. She walks the baby to the nursery and stares into his blue eyes, captivated by his enigmatic nature. You really are something, aren't you? She whispers to him. All these things are going on around you, and you don't even have one peep come out of you. It's hard to believe that they are your parents. The baby makes a slight grin at this, like he understands the irony of the situation, but goes back to his stone-faced demeanor. His eyes are wandering around, like he is constantly processing new information into the mainframe of his being. She enters the nursery to the wailing of the other newborns there. The baby squirms slightly at the noise, but regains his composure immediately after. He takes in his new surroundings and seems to just accept it with a sense of indifference. She lays him into one of the bassinets, grabs an index card for labeling the babies, writes his last name, Noble, on it, and inserts it into a slot on the side of the bassinet. She stood for a few minutes more, just looking at him with fascination. His deafening silence was a stark contrast to the chaos going on around him. It is as if he understood the futility of crying out to a world that is uncaring of his existence.